Well, it's now official, the news we were waiting for because we had a feeling that it was going to happen at some point either today or tomorrow. Justin Verlander has signed with the New York Mets, and I'm going to give my thoughts, reaction, all that as a Met fan because it's crazy, it's hectic, and we're going to talk about it. Before we do, leave a like on the video if you do enjoy, subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Met fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload a video next. So we're going to cover the Mets heavily throughout the offseason, so you don't want to miss the content here. But let's talk about this because there is so much to talk about. Because it happened so fast too, right? Because Jacob deGrom, a couple days ago, obviously on Friday, signed with the Texas Rangers, and there was questions of, okay, where are the Mets going to pivot? Because that they had to, obviously, because you can't just leave a giant Jacob deGrom size hole in your rotation, and the Mets filled said Jacob deGrom size hole in the rotation with Justin Verlander. The contract details, what are the contract details? Glad you asked. And it's looking like it is a 2-year deal worth $86 million with a 3rd-year vesting option. What exactly that means, I don't know. I'm guessing either a mutual option or a club option or something like that. Like I don't know, maybe he has to earn the 3rd year in some regard. I don't know what it is exactly. But regardless, this is a weird move. I'm on the fence about this because Justin Verlander coming off a Cy Young season, how could you not love it? And the fact that he and Tommy John had just came back at age 39 years old and won a Cy Young award, yeah, how could you not love it? And think, okay, he still has a lot left in the tank, maybe. The question is how much more, right? Because 40 years of age now, how much more left is there in the tank for Justin Verlander? And now you pair him with another 40-year-old in Max Scherzer, reuniting them like they were back in their Detroit days. There's a lot of questions of, what is this going to look like for the Mets? Because you run a risk here, right? There's no denying you run a risk here having two 40-year-olds anchoring your rotation where there could be some injury concerns. To me, I don't know if I'm all too worried about that. He proved that he was dominant and healthy all of last season. So let's see what we're going to see coming into this next season. And it's going to be interesting. I don't know. I really don't know how to feel about this because I'm excited because, again, the guy won a Cy Young and the guy seems to get better with age for whatever reason. But it's like two 40-year-olds. I don't know. But this is definitely a huge ad and a good ad because, again, you had to fill that spot in the rotation and it was either him or Carlos Rodon. I was more in favor of Rodon personally because, one, he's younger, and two, you could give him a 5-year deal, and then let's say within the middle of that contract, he's still pitching at a dominant level, and the Mets decide, hey, we need to go in a rebuild direction. Then you could go ahead and flip Carlos Rodon, get yourself some assets in the final, I don't know, year or two of that contract, and it will help you get some assets for that rebuild. Because let's be honest, the Mets are an older team, and they are in a win-now phase, and you probably have a 2 to 3 year window at this rate right now with the team that you have constructed. So you need to get creative, and I thought maybe Rodon would be the better choice there, but I'm not going to complain when you get a Justin Verlander, despite his numbers in the postseason and, you know, the woes that he has there. I'm not overall too concerned about that because there are times that we've seen him dominate, and yeah, how can you not be excited after the season he had last year? Let's talk about that season last year. So last year, he had a 1.75 ERA, just absolutely ridiculous. 18-4 record. I know record isn't the most popular pitching stat, but I might as well throw it in there because he led the league in wins this past season and obviously won the American League Cy Young. Had a .829 whip. Disgusting. ERA plus of 220. I'm just reading what he led the league in. Hits per 9, 6.0. Was absolutely filthy and gave you 175 innings pitched. And how many starts was that? 28 games. I don't know if he missed a couple starts. I'm guessing he did there. But for the most part, was healthy. Finished 10th in MVP voting too, which is ridiculous as well. There's a lot to love. 185 strikeouts. Yeah, there's a lot to love. But I do want to quickly look up his postseason stats because that's where obviously it got a little bit of, that was worrisome. Yeah, 5.85 ERA in the playoffs. 11.25 Ks per 9, though, isn't awful, but the 10.3 hits per 9, absolutely yikes. 3.6 walks per 9, not too bad there, but yeah, he definitely did struggle a bit in the postseason, and he's really struggled throughout his entire career, honestly, in the postseason, outside of 2017, which the Astros won the World Series that year. He was dominant during that playoff run, so, but it's been quite some time since then, right? So it's going to be interesting to see the Mets if they do make the postseason. Now you have Max Scherzer, who struggled in the postseason last year. You have Justin Verlander, who struggled in the postseason last year. Let's see what he's going to do, but his total stats aren't necessarily awful for the postseason. 16-11 with a ERA of 3.64 and 230 career strikeouts and 35 postseason appearances. That's not overall awful, which you'd maybe like the ERA a bit lower, but it's not the worst. And listen, for the regular season, if you could get even a 2.5 ERA from Justin Verlander, maybe even a 3, I'm not complaining at all. Even with the AAV, I'm not complaining if you get something like that from him. It's hard for him. It's going to be hard for him to fill in the shoes for Jacob deGrom one way or another. Let's just face the facts here. Jacob deGrom, at the top of his game, is the best pitcher in the sport. So it's going to be hard to fill that size hole, and I'm not complaining no matter what we get. It's weird now, though, that they ended up going this route. So we'll see. And it was also, again, really fast, which I do like that the front office said, let's go. We lost down Jacob deGrom. Let's go. We're going to move at a fast pace here. We're going to get the pitcher that we need to get to fill in that spot in the rotation. And they did it. They did it at a quick rate, and I love it because now you could focus on the things that you need to. You could focus on getting that back end of the rotation piece. You could focus now on getting a outfielder. You're seeing Andrew Benintendi's name thrown out there. Brandon Nimmo's still in the mix, of course. You have guys out there that you could go after and target. Maybe add another bat into the lineup that we don't know of, right? There's options now that you could go down. Now that you got the big domino to fall for the rotation, now you could really focus on filling in the rest of the holes in this roster. And obviously there's the bullpen still to fix. There's a lot of holes still to fix on this roster. Let's not pretend that this roster is perfect right now with Justin Verlander, and let's not pretend that they are going to be an 101 win team again, because again, they still have a lot of flaws from last year that we saw, especially down the stretch, that they have to address. So let's see how they end up going about this one. But when it comes to Justin Verlander, welcome to New York. Kate Upton, welcome to New York as well. So, because obviously a lot of Met fans excited about that. I won't lie, myself included. When I saw her flipping off the Philly fans, oh, that was the moment we knew she was a new, him and I guess Kate Upton were New York Mets. That we knew that from that moment they were meant to be here in New York. Absolutely love to see it. So again, that's going to be it for me. I don't really have much else to say with this. Let me know your thoughts, though, on the signing in the comment section down below. Would love to hear from all of you guys. From a Met fan perspective, I'm happy. I'm not complaining. So, yeah, that's just my thoughts. Thank you guys so much for watching this one. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like on it. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially for Met fans. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload a video next. Also, check out the Mets Talk podcast. We're going to talk deeper into the signing and all of that on that, and we're going to talk more about free agent targets for the Mets. So be sure to check that out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Let's go, Mets.